What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
So it looks like Nintendo may be finally doing something I suggested a long time ago. So Nintendo just put this hiring post out there looking for a principal partner management for a second party. So the idea that I had was that Nintendo should go back to a strategy that they had in the past. Actually, I suggested this back during the Wii U era when they really needed this, but focusing on utilizing second party partnerships to make and collaborate on games for them. Now, this is actually going to be needed in the Switch 2 era because the fact that these games take way more time and way more money, but mostly more time and manpower to develop, the only way that the Switch 2 would be able to match the game's output of the original Switch is to go this route. And honestly, even if they went this route, it probably still couldn't match up because it now that they're developing games with 4K and HDR and 120 frames per second and VRR and all of this new stuff to Nintendo, yeah, they're not going to be able to have the same output that they had during the original Switch without some help. And it looks like they've realized this. So they're hiring for a principal partner management second party. So it says a description of duties establishes and facilitates strategic partnerships with external software development studios and acts as the central point of contact on behalf of Nintendo with oversight from NOA and NCL management. Responsible for the day-to-day business activities and leads and facilitates meetings and discussions with external development studio partners at the executive management level, promotes and communicates Nintendo and the platform, our suite of services, features, tools, terms, and policies to potential second-party software development partners. So this is Nintendo actively looking to either do more publishing of third-party games, or judging from this description, it sounds like they are looking for more external developers or third-party developers to potentially make games based on Nintendo IP for them, because they aren't going to have the time really to make all of these games that they want to. So they're going to partner up with these second-party developers, similar to what they did. They did a lot of this during the GameCube era. Like even some of the one of the games that they have that they just announced for the Nintendo Switch Online, the GameCube version is F-Zero GX. That was a second-party partnership. They had Amusement Vision of Sega developed F-Zero for them, and they financed and published that. And it looks like they're looking for some similar business ventures with the Switch 2, and I think that's very smart, because honestly they're probably going to need it, because there was no way that they were going to be able to match the game's output that they did with the Switch. Also, too, because technically over half of those games, if you remember, were Wii U games that you guys didn't buy. So they don't really have that this time. I mean, we've already seen, they're giving us updates and better looking and better running Switch games, but you can only do that for so much, right? And even then, some of these upgrades are paid, and some of them are going to be free. There's going to be a free upgrade for like Mario Odyssey, for example, and ARMS for some reason. But I don't mind it. But yeah, it looks like there could be some potentially big new first party games for the Switch 2 that are coming way of external developers. And that's actually pretty exciting, because that just means we're just going to get that much more games. Now, those kind of partnerships don't always work out. I mean, we saw what happened with Metroid Other M, even though I don't think that game was necessarily bad. The controls were just silly. But I think, honestly, if the controls weren't so horrible, it actually could have been a pretty good game. But interesting to see where they take this and which developers they approach for these games, and which IPs they're open to having third parties work on. Because, I mean, we've seen they've let Zelda's IP being lent out. We have the Hyrule Warriors games and stuff like that. Metroid, like I said. So, I mean, who knows what new games could come from this. But it's nice to see that they realize that getting more games out and having more help with these games should be a priority.